Okay, what I need to do right now is I need to clip these guys so they appear like they're in the middle of a triangle.
This video is brought to you by EpiPies Academy.
But we are not going to create a triangle. We are going to create a rectangle and then transform it into a triangle. But before I do that, I'm going to go and close the visibility or hide the visibility, turn off the visibility of the blend by clicking this eye icon next to the blend sublayer, just like so. And I'm going to choose the rectangle tool from the tools panel and create a rectangle from this anchor point to this bottom anchor point, just like so. And when we take a look at the original, we can see that we have these spaces right here. So our rectangle is not that aligned with the edges of the end ladder. So what I will do is I will scale it down, but before I do that, I still need to convert it into a triangle. So I will do that by selecting the direct selection tool, selecting this bottom left anchor point, and in the control panel, clicking this remove selected anchor points icon. And just like so, we have created a nicely looking triangle that fills this top space of the end ladder. Yeah, let's call it that, top space of the end ladder. Sounds like a B-class, title of a B-class science fiction novel. Something you could pick up at the railway station, you know. Top space of the end ladder. Okay, so enough of science fiction. Let's go back to designing. I'm gonna scale this triangle down by selecting activating the scale tool by selecting pressing the S key on the keyboard and then Enter. Or maybe I will rather Alt click on the top path. See what I do? I'm deconcentrating because of my wandering thoughts. I'm thinking about railway stations and science, B-class science novels. Well, I should be focusing on designing. Okay, and on this video, I will. Okay, so Alt click on this top path, and I will scale it uniformly down to maybe 88%. 88% should do. Okay, now back in the layers panel, I will turn off my blend. I'll turn its visibility back on, and I will make sure that both these guys are selected. So I will shift click both these guys, so the path and the blend, and now I will clip them. Or I will create a clipping mask. And what clipping mask does is it kind of removes the visibility of an object. So we are clipping an object with an object that is on top of it, thus removing some parts of the underlying objects, removing just its visibility. So let me show you what I mean. When I have these both guys selected, I will go to Object, Clipping Mask, and Make. And just like so, we have recreated rather, this shape right here. Just like so. Okay, so just to, to make it, so you maybe, understand it better, maybe it would be great if you saw it one more time. And we need to recreate the process for the bottom. I could try to reflect all these guys and call, this clipping mask. But we might come into some issues with the rotation and with the clipping mask itself. So I think it's best, I think it's really advisable to redo the whole process to learn it better and to, well, not come into some issues with the clipping mask. Okay, so rectangle again. I will create a rectangle right like so. In the transform panel, I will make sure that it has the same height, and I believe it was 13 pixels. I will click the reference point to the bottom. I'll set the reference point at the bottom, and I will make it 13 points. Okay. Again, I will blend. First I will duplicate these guy, and I'm going to show you right now the second approach, because I mentioned that I'll show you there are two approaches of using the blend tool. One was through the object menu, and now we'll go to the blend tool itself. We can double click it, and to check our values right here, we can see that we have specified steps and we have two steps. So with the blend tool selected, I'm simply gonna click on the shapes that we want to blend together. So I'll click on the top rectangle and the bottom, just like so. Okay, again, I will turn the visibility of this blend off, create a nicely looking, sweet looking rectangle, like that. I will convert it into a triangle. So with the direct selection tool, I'm going to hit this anchor point, and in the control panel, click remove selected anchor points. And now I will scale it down by pressing the Alt and, well, first by making sure that the scale tool is active by pressing the S key, and then Alt clicking on this bottom anchor, this bottom path. Again, 88% is fine. Now I will select both, turn the blend's visibility back on, select both the path and the blend, go to Object, Clip and Mask, Make. But I usually go for the Control-7 shortcut because I tend to use clip and masks a lot, like really a lot, because they are really helpful. Okay, let's zoom back out. You can see that we have recreated this shape right here. Of course, we have, well, the result with the rectangles is a bit different. I'll leave it up to you for you to play with the rectangles, play with their position, maybe their size. But remember, when you are using the blend tool in this matter, you need to make sure that the rectangles that you are blending between must be of the same height. Because if one of those guys is bigger than the other one, then the blend tool will try to smoothly blend in specified steps the height and the width values of the steps in between. So it's really important when you are working with the blend tool in this way to make sure that that all the blend shapes are of the same size. Okay, so now I know the rest of the steps will be really easy. So all we need to do is to create this this line right here. But I want to show you one way of working with such logo design elements that I usually do. As you probably know, I like to be precise. So I don't know that you can't actually see it right now, but this line is exactly 75% in width. Its width is 75% of this top object right here of this grand sign. So how can we do this? How can we approach this? First of all, we can see that we have that width of our sign is 549,326 points. That's quite an odd number, but anyway, I will simply copy it, and in the line segment tool, I will click anywhere on my artboard, and for the length value, I will simply paste what I just copied from the control panel. And I will multiply it by 0.75, make sure that the angle is set to 0, and as you can see, Illustrator counted the right length for me. And just like so, let me give it maybe a black for now. And just like so, I got the line that is actually that is exactly 75% in width of this. Let's call it parent element. Yeah. Okay, so now what's really left to do is to just type in self-storage or create the type self-storage. So I will just click somewhere here, type self-storage. Of course, we want the font to be smaller, and I'm using the Control-Shift less than symbol. Maybe 42 points. 42 points should be fine. I'm going to create outlines, so I'll go to type, create outlines, and now I'll give the proper color to all these letters, like so. In another video, I'm going to show you how to select objects with the similar or the same attributes, but by not using the select similar option right here. we're going to use a different technique, but that's for another video. For the self-storage, I will give it a nice blue fill for these guys as well. And this line, this break line, will have a nice blue stroke. Of course, now all we need to do is to align all these guys properly. So I'll make sure that these guys are actually a group. So I will go to Object and group them. Select all of them. In the align, make sure that the align to selection is selected, and I will just go with the horizontal align center. Oh no, nothing was not properly. So again, Object group. Now they should align nicely. Yes, they did. Okay. Okay, so this was the process of recreating the grand self-storage logo. I really believe that you learned a thing or two. This is actually the first logo of the upcoming videos I'll be putting up on Udemy for this course. So if you have any questions regarding the techniques that you just saw, just post a discussion on Udemy, and I will video answer any of your questions. Well, only those questions that relate to the course. So you'll be able to easily see. And I think it will be easier for me as well to simply explain some of the nuances of Illustrator and the techniques I use. Okay, so that's it. That's it for now. Stay tuned. Have a nice day. My name is Dawid Tumiński.